Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, and earlier today, of course, we got the character list for LEGO Marvel Superheroes, more characters, I should say, and now we've also got some images, so without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at these, because they are pretty gosh darn awesome. So we kick things off with the big figures, the bigger, larger LEGO figure. We've got Colossus to kick things off, which is a pretty awesome way to start things off. We've got Rhino, a very, very iconic, of course, Spider-Man villain. Speaking of iconic, we've got Mr. Blob himself, who gets to do a little bit of jiggle his way through, I guess, the game, which would be pretty awesome. Can't wait to see his abilities. Speaking of abilities, Mr. Hulkbuster, and it's awesome that it's the comic book version. I really love that design. We've got also Kingpin. He's going to be a larger figure, of course, because he's a little bit overweight as well. We've got Juggernaut. So that is very, very cool. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of puns with, I'm the Juggernaut, you know what. We've got, of course, the Lizard, who looks pretty gosh darn intimidating in this image, but that's pretty awesome that he's in the game as well. We've got Ultimate Comics Green Goblin, so that's very, very cool as well, because, of course, it's just nice to have different versions of the Goblin. Speaking of Goblin, we've got the other version as well, and it looks like he's going to be on his glider, so that's very, very cool indeed. We've got Elektra. Still haven't seen Daredevil, surprisingly. We've got Iron Patriot, and this is, of course, the movie design, because you can see the little War Machine cannon. We've got Spider-Woman, who looks very, very comic book accurate in this little minifigure. Very cool indeed. We've got a big baddie in the Marvel Universe, the one and only Dr. Doom himself. Right after that, we've got one of the characters that will be a prominent character in the new Wolverine movie, and that is the Silver Samurai. One of my favorite surprises from the entire game, and that is, of course, Howard the Duck, who looks pretty gosh darn awesome. Very cool design. We've got Beast from the X-Men to represent people like a Beast, who's got claws like Wolverine, which is a little weird. We've got Dr. Octopus, who's going to be using his little tentacles, so a lot of gameplay variety, which is really, really awesome. Next up, we've got the man who punishes all, and that is, of course, the Punisher. We've got a much better image of Stan Lee now, who looks absolutely adorable. Just a really cool minifigure design indeed. Invisible Woman makes an appearance finally. We don't have to make stupid puns about her being invisible. This was actually a surprise to me, and that was the leader, who's, of course, the Hulk enemy, at least from what I remember, the Hulk 90s cartoon. Got Jean Grey, speaking of 90s cartoons. She was very prominent in the X-Men cartoon, so that's cool. We got Tom Brevoort, who I actually didn't know who he was, but then I checked that he's actually a Marvel Comics editor, so that's pretty cool. Next up, we've got a very obscure character, and that is Squirrel Girl, so that's very cool. Another obscure character in terms of just being a playable character, and that is, of course, Herbie, the assistant robot for the Fantastic Four. We got a tiny little snippet of Cyclops as well, which is cool, and Malekath got a shot from the back, only a backside shot, no front face. We got Vulture, of course, as well, who looks pretty cool. Nito. Kind of reminds me of the Mothman from the Batman games. And to round out the fan favorite list, we've got Gambit. Now, the one character that I was surprised to see be a regular minifigure was actually the Sentinel here. You could see in some of the footage, people noticed that there's a Sentinel. But shouldn't this be one of the large figures as well? I mean, Sentinels are supposed to be ginormous, so that's a little bit strange in my opinion. I think either this is not a Sentinel, or they will address it in the future. That being said, guys, if you guys found these images cool, please give this video a like. That really does help me out a ton. Of course, share the video with your family and friends, and favorite the video. All those are great, great ways to show support for the video and the series covering LEGO Marvel Superheroes. On top of that, if you haven't subscribed yet, what you doing? Subscribe so that you don't miss out on all the cool content that goes up on the Blitzwinger channel. I'll catch you guys next time. Have a fan-fantastic day. Thank you guys so much for the amazing support throughout San Diego Comic-Con. Peace out, and see ya laters!